My sister Terry had a serious drainage issue. She had water running into her basement, and we just felt like that job was above our pay grade, basically, or at least above the equipment we had. They had to put in a lot of drainage right next to the basement walls, but what we did sign up for was the final grading. Okay, so it's all been put back together. It's had some time to settle now, and we're here with a couple of machines to try to do some final grading. Let's get started. We get a lot of questions about using your tractor for business. And to be honest, the question usually is framed in this fashion. I'm going to get my first tractor in a couple of weeks. How much do you charge for your jobs? So that kind of brings up something different that I don't really want to answer right then. How much do I charge for my jobs? Because what I feel like is missing in that question is the experience necessary. What I would encourage you guys to do when you're thinking about using your tractors for business is to start on projects like this, projects with your family, projects that you don't charge anything for, well, except that IOU, you know, when you want your sister to do something for you later. But we're not going to collect any money on this project, but we are all gaining a lot of experience. And yeah, you can watch YouTube videos, you can learn some things from YouTube, you can learn some things from other sources, but nothing will teach you like actual on-the-job experience. Then when you get to the point of charging and estimating the jobs, you'll have a better understanding of how long a project will take, how difficult they can be, what kind of challenges you might run into. So I would encourage you, start working for your family, work for your neighbors, do it for nothing or maybe for a cheeseburger. Yeah, that'll work fine. And you'll learn a lot, and before long, you will have that experience, you know, and you'll be much more confident bidding the jobs and doing the jobs in that situation. We will do a lot more discussion of this as we go forward. We can talk a little more about bidding jobs and just kind of how we handle that. I had actually intended to do some of that today, but well, we had all this various equipment and it was a little bit difficult for me to even estimate how long it was going to take and some of the things that I like to discuss when I'm bidding a project. Also, I had all these guys standing around. We're adding some topsoil right up here next to the sidewalks. We don't have very good soil here to work with. This is about 200 miles from where Christy and I live. So, but some of this topsoil right out here is really going to help. Even a couple of inches will help get some grass to grow. I was trying to back over it a little bit first and pulverize it a little bit right before I push it up next to the sidewalk. Make it easier to deal with the hand rake. If it hasn't been broken into, you know, pulverized or made smaller clods, it's kind of difficult to work with by hand. Making it hard on me, dumping it on the sidewalk. So I'm making a first trip over here with the power rake. There's some really big rocks in here. Well, at least too big to have in a yard. So I'm going to try to get some of these out, and then Tom's probably going to till a little bit here. Actually, he's starting to till over there now. Bring your wheelbarrow. See all these rocks that are getting pushed out to the side? You can kind of come along as I'm making the various throughs and pick up what you can of them, okay?
All right.
and because I'm continuing to push them this way.
Okay.
Well, the mask today is not for COVID, it's for all this dust. I find that this dust does bother my sinuses some when I get really in them for a good while. So after they put in all of this drainage work, they had to replace the water line. Turns out the water line broke sometime later back here. Likely because of a settling issue that maybe wasn't handled right. But anyway, that's what this ditch is. All of that water rushed out here and washed this ditch. So that's what we're filling in here today. My biggest concern right here is settling. You know, even though I'm packing it down a little bit here with Benny, I'm afraid this is going to settle after we leave. I think with that tiller doing such a good job at the deep tillage, I'm going to raise mine a little bit. And I'll be a little less aggressive here. I think this is coming along pretty good, actually. I think it looks good. I just love how this power rake functions. Sort of move dirt like a blade, but at the same time I pulverize it. This makes it much easier to handle. told you how much fun it is to work with 2 pieces of equipment. Well, it's even more fun when you've got 3. Terry's yard is quite uneven, so we're really using a 3-step process here. Tom's tilling it, and that makes it a lot easier for this power rake to work. You've seen us show it before, and I don't really know that I had planned it this way, but a tiller is a great complement to a power rake. The power rake will get the job done. It could dig all this up, but it would be a lot slower. As it is, the tiller can come through and just get everything loosened up, and then we can do a lot of smoothing and grading and getting some of the rocks out with this power rake. It really helps. And meanwhile, Terry's bringing in some topsoil that he's found somewhere back in the back lot. They have several acres here, so it's not a case of not being able to find soil. He's bringing that in, and then I try to level it out as he gets it delivered. So it's just been a lot of fun working here with 3 different machines at the same time. Okay, I think it's ready for you.
Down the hole, Terry.
This is a good time for me to talk about the equipment that I brought for this trip. I sure wish I'd have had my Grapple, but I just didn't have room. We brought the Gator with the GPS equipment. Show you that in another episode, but we only had room for 1 more piece of equipment, so we chose Vinny with the power rake because it is just the perfect machine for final grading. Well, that leaves us without a Grapple.
I'll tell you what we need a Grapple for, we got Terry.
He's even using the top of it as a harrow.
There you go.
Some final grading work.
Who needs a Grapple when you have Montana?
Well, yeah, that's for sure. Montana's doing great work.
Well, we're trying to get some of the fertilizer spread. This is the alternative to the American harrow that I showed in a recent episode. This is an old-fashioned one. I remember buying it. Well, I wasn't along when they bought it, but I remember when it was new. And it was probably in about 70 or 71. I'll just say it's a lot more of a pain to deal with than the American harrow with the 3-point hitch mount. But we'll show you how it works in a minute.
They're sowing grass seed now.
Well, here I am with the harrow. See if I can get the seed kind of worked in a little bit. You keep sowing, I'll keep harrowing.
Okay.
He's not done here yet, but there's a good bit of seed here.
It's got fertilizer and seed, so I don't know how you can tell the difference.
Yeah, he's got the fertilizer covered up now, but you can see the seed.
Folks, this is my sister Terry. Terry, what do you think?
I'm thrilled with what you've done today, Tim. It's leveled it all out, filled in some low spots where there was a big tree here that had fallen over. So Dad had been working on that off and on because it would settle out, and that's all leveled out. Where there were 2 old cisterns, that's all leveled out.
Yep.
And of course all around the back.
Yeah, and you got your new concrete. We put some dirt up next to the concrete all the way around, and yeah, I think it'll be okay. It's a little bit late probably to get grass seed to grow this spring, but we'll try to put some straw down here before dark, and hopefully we'll get a stand.
Yeah, that'll be great.
It's been fun.
Love you.
Yeah, I love you, Terry. And thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time on Tractor Time with Tim.